Welcome back to James Parker Sculpture. In this video I exhibit my work at the world-renowned Chelsea Flower Show in London. But before I do that, I have to travel around 400 miles and build a garden in which to place my sculptures. After we loaded the lorry and sent it on its way, we loaded the van and trailer. I picked up a certain Dave. Say hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Very predictable. We sent the lorry down the road. We left 24 hours later and we're now at Hortus Loci to pick up our plants, much like many other Chelsea exhibitors. So let's see what we can find. Being shown round by Mark Straver, who's pointing out plants that'll be just at their best for Chelsea.
Morning, James. How are you doing? You alright?
Yeah, good.
James, here we've got some lupin masterpiece.
Yep.
These ones, look, they've just started to show colour, so in 1 week's time they're going to be perfect for the show.
Yeah, fantastic. Really great. We'll have some of those. Yep.
Great. Okay, so masterpiece.
This is from New Zealand?
Yeah, it'll make a difference between all the usual suspects and something a bit different. So
brilliant.
Perfect.
So we're just looking at this cornice tree with Mark, which we're going to be loaned for Chelsea, which I'm really excited about.
It's going to be spot on, James. So the sort of lime colour will change next week to being pure white.
Absolutely.
And we've got thousands of flowers over the whole plant.
Fantastic. And I can afford it.
Well, you'll have to rent it to you, and if it was terribly nice, it wouldn't work.
That's on videotape. Brilliant, fantastic. So we've just stopped at a farmhouse B&B and it's now Sunday morning, about 5:20, and we're headed into London to start the build, so we're both super excited. Are we, Dave?
Of course.
We've just pulled up at the main gate now and been sent round the block, just parked at the side of the Thames, waiting on the gates opening at 8 o'clock. We have to pick up our accreditation, which we do every year, so there's always a bit of faffing around before we get into the showground, but we're, I guess, keen to get going. You do that much work over the winter and think about every screw and every piece of wood that you have to go into the showground with, because the last thing you want to do is arrive and have to disappear out the showground. If you have to do that at all in London, you can finish up spending a couple of hours to drive about 2 miles to the nearest builder's merchant. So just itching to get going, and we've got about half an hour to go till the gates open. So Dave's doing some exercises just to get limbered up. And this is the space that we get to build a stand out of. People ask, do we arrive to a garden that's already built and then just position my sculptures in place? But that's certainly not the case. We spent about a week building this. We've got 10 metres frontage this year, it's about 4 metres deep, bank's about 1 metre high there at the back. We're going to start unloading the trailer and get the floor down, some walls down, and I'll update again shortly. We've had quite a productive first day. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening and this is quite an early finish for Chelsea. We usually work till 8 and probably ahead of where I'd hoped to be. We've got the side walls up, back walls are in position, although they'll get a fresh coat of colour, they'll get reskinned. The shelter's in position, most of the flooring's in place. We're going to have sculptures in these 2 squares which will be flower beds. Got to use your imagination, but it's coming along well and I'm quite pleased with progress. It's the second day of build now, it's 8 o'clock in the evening and we've had a good day's work. Dave's been busy painting the walls and the back of the stand. We've made the shelter watertight, never know what the Great British weather is going to provide, so we've got the floor in. That kind of sets the stand out so that we know where the paving and turfed areas are going. Up at the back, slightly raised up, we're going to have the new Pinecone, which I really look forward to sharing with everyone. Quite excited about that. That's fine there. That's it. That's the lorry dropped off the sculptures now, and about an hour ago the stand was fairly well organised and now there's boxes everywhere, so we'll start unboxing these, getting them into position, and hopefully the place will start to come together. Our neighbours have also arrived, the very talented Rupert Till.
We don't have time to do films, we're action.
We've started to get some sculptures into position, a plinth awaiting my new cone sculpture, DNA of a dancer centre stage. In the shelter this year I'm going to have a few smaller pieces which I really look forward to showing. That's the compost arriving from Roll-On. They've been good enough to supply us with mulch and turf the last few years. They're plants from Hortus Loci. It looks like there's a lot of work still to do, however once the plants and turf and paving start going in, it really starts bringing everything together. Some beautiful digitalis, they are just ready to come out. Lots of ferns for our wild area, which will be back in the back right corner. It's now day 4 of the build and Max Parker Smith has started placing the plants in our stand. It's already transforming the space and looking really good. What have we got going in here, Max?
So we've got a bit of a shady palette here. So we've got the digitalis, we've got some adiantums, some wonderful hostas, some textured dropteras here, and we're just going to be creating a bit of a myriad coming down into some sunnier loving plants. The digitalis add some really good height. These have a lovely leaf texture, as do the adiantum and some of the dropteras. It's all just about creating nice textures and some synergy throughout the planting scheme.
Fantastic. Press day is finally here and I'm delighted to be able to show you the completed stand. I'll show you more about each individual sculpture over the next few days. This is just a quick snapshot. I've talked a lot on social media about the 2 new sculptures that I've been working on. Pinecone and limited edition bronze, which I'm delighted to be able to show you now. This is Fibonacci geometry with 8 spirals one way, 13 the other, and 21 just off the vertical. I'm really thrilled with how it looks in the stand. And just to the right here we have the mirror polished leaf, which stands at 8 feet in height and looks superb in front of the cornice tree. I'll show you more in the coming days. There's quite a lot of hanging around between the royal visit and events that happen in the evening, which gives you a great chance to catch up with old friends. Rupert Till is my neighbour for a week every May, and these are some of the wonderful sculptures that he makes in wire. I think you're probably best known for horse sculptures, Rupert.
Yeah, I suppose that they're probably the best pieces that I make. Although the little hares are quite popular.
That's super, yeah. I do like the hair. I like the fox.
Everybody loves the fox. And there's been a great buzz about these hens down here. Everybody loves them, like Chelsea hens.
Look at these. I love the way they're pecking away at the gravel.
It's always about getting that piece of wire underneath. You've got to have the structure underneath and the socket bounce the light on,
yeah,
and it creates the eye. You see that little bit there, just brings it all together.
It's just about 6:30 in the evening just now, and the gala preview is just about to start, and the light at this time of day is absolutely fantastic.
The reflection on the leaf is just extraordinary. I've just taken a picture of it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's amazing.
It's been great to have Leslie on the stand this week, because normally she just comes down for a couple of days and she's been a huge help. Great to have some company and be able to spend some time together. Really see the curves and DNA of a dancer in the back of the stand there. Time to focus in on the apple. This is a mirror polished 316 stainless, and it's originally formed in clay and then plaster, which means that I can create a really smooth pattern. and then the steel is cold forged round about it and welded together and then polished in extremely high gallery standard finish. This piece is also available in smaller and larger sizes. Pan round and see a really busy start to the day. It's not 10 o'clock yet and lots of people about. As promised, I said I would focus in on one of my new sculptures. This is Pinecone, which I've been working away at over the winter. It's a limited edition in bronze and it's based on Fibonacci sequences, so we have 8 spirals going one way, 13 the other, and 21 scales just off the vertical. It's a huge challenge and it's been well admired. It's a limited edition in bronze and it's 75 centimetres in height. I also released another edition of smaller pine cones, and here's the smaller pine cone here, just next to the 5-star award that we were lucky to get yesterday. This piece is 30 centimetres in height and it's been really popular. One piece is actually going to Houston in America.
I like these. I've seen those before. I'm coming.
It's the end of another day at Chelsea Flower Show and Mrs. Parker's hard at work watering the plants. It's been a scorcher today. And there you can see the new mirror polished stainless steel leaf there in the foreground and the pine cone behind. Love this time in the evening after a busy day. And this piece is finished in mirror polished stainless steel. It seems to play with its surroundings as it reflects the cornice tree there in the surface, and of course that creates movement. Really striking piece, and as you can see it's as busy as ever here. Pan round, I've also released the same form in limited edition bronze. This is a 50% scaled version and it has a great patina on it. It's finished in copper chloride and this is one of 25. Finally, we have a lovely size piece there for a sideboard. It's almost 4 PM on the Saturday of Chelsea, just before the great plant sell-off begins, and what happens is a big bell rings and members of the public that are visiting the show can make an offer for plants, and the great thing about that as an exhibitor is they walk straight out the gate and we don't have to worry about trying to take them home in one piece to Scotland. And it always seems like sacrilege to not keep plants in good condition, and that certainly gives them the best chance. Hard to believe that this will all be gone in just about half an hour. Following the end of the show, many of my sculptures were delivered directly to clients' gardens, and it was great to see them in place in their wonderful new homes. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a huge favour and give it a big thumbs up. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're safe and well, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.